If you're underpricing jobs just to stay competitive, you're not just losing money, you're digging a hole you may never climb out of. Today, I'm going to show you why too many contractors are working harder for less and how you can flip the script fast. So I've been here, I know how it feels. You've got projects, you want to stay busy. Maybe a big project comes along that's really like, a larger scale than you're used to, and you are tempted to cut your price down or do whatever you need to do in order to land the project. But this is a really vicious cycle that can ruin your profitability and really wreck your entire business. So I'm going to be sharing with you 4 different ways that are kind of hidden to a lot of contractors that they don't realize when they try to, get in and win a job at a lower price. And then I'm going to be sharing with you 3 ways in which you can make sure that you can price higher and still land projects and be much more profitable and run a much better business at the end of the day that gives you that time, the freedom, and profitability that you're looking for. So the first thing is you become known as the cheap builder. So the problem with cutting your prices and just trying to, compete on price too much is once you've done that for one person, if they refer you to someone else, guess what they're going to say? I went with this contractor, they were cheaper than the other people, you should go talk with them, right? And you create this expectation down the line, and your branding, your messaging, your sales, you become known as that cheap builder. Also, you're going to get used to selling jobs on price. So in order to get more jobs, you end up just kind of either being cheap on price. You don't actually improve your sales abilities or the rest of the things that in business that can help you get a better price from different clients. So I'm going to be sharing with you those just a little bit, but I want to really dive into this because it's a mental blind spot that many builders can have. And I'm not on my high horse here. I've been there. I've priced jobs too cheaply and paid for it in the end. I hate seeing it, and that's why I want to help you with this today. So too cheap of projects, you get cheap clients, you get, a cheap culture. Your employees, even the trades around you start to, expect that. And you kind of just, you have a lower trust. If someone pays less for a service, like even though you may be great and perform and get them results, the trust and the expectation are just lowered, but you end up getting clients that are still expecting a lot more just because their money is like so important to them and they want economy over quality, which is not a good place that you want to be as a builder. So second point that I'm going to mention here as far as what one of these hidden kind of costs is, you end up scrambling for profitability. So because you've undersold a job, now you got to try to cut corners. You're going to probably get cheaper subs. You're going to have to do change orders to make up some margins or profit here or there. And you're going to try to get, cheap materials or materials on sale, or maybe materials that take a long order time, whatever it may be. And it's going to affect your business as a whole. It's going to make your business harder to manage. And it's going to end up just hurting your reputation long term, which again is just that vicious cycle that once you do a cheaper job, and if your materials, your quality don't last, you're just shooting yourself in the foot later on, and you become kind of this reciprocal cycle of being the cheap builder with cheap materials, and then having warranty issues and all this other stuff that comes down the line. Third one is late to pay. So when your cash flow is too tight, or maybe mistakes were happened on the job and you didn't have a good enough margins or contingencies for it, now your cash flow suffers. It's harder to pay subs on time. Suppliers don't get paid on time. Employees, maybe you have to take on more loans to finance business or new growth opportunities or whatever, and it's just this vicious cycle again of not having enough money to really run a business properly. And there's no kind of insurance at all if anything goes sideways, or you miss something in your estimate, or scheduling comes into play, or you have a bad client, or all the million and one things that can go wrong with a construction project. If you don't have good margins, all of that can happen. And the fourth one I'm going to mention here as a hidden cost is you are not going to be able to scale. There's this fallacy of, if I get more projects or larger projects, I will make more money. The problem is, I can say never happens. I have yet to see it happen where a company can just continue to operate at low margins and scale up and get large projects and grow a large profitable business. The problem being is that when you start to get more projects, now you're going to have to hire project managers. You're going to probably need better software. You're going to maybe need some consultation as far as how to build and scale your business. You're going to need better marketing to facilitate that engine. You may have to hire better employees. So all of that, you need a good, healthy margin in order to facilitate that growth. And what often happens is guys grow without getting that in place, a good margins, good systems, processes, whatever. But we're talking about the money side of things here. Without that proper margin to scale, everything gets really tight. And if you're not watching your finances really close, you will very soon tip the scales to becoming unprofitable, and everything kind of just becomes a house of cards and falls flat because you can't afford to hire and facilitate that larger business that operates with all those different projects or larger projects, what have you. Quality dives, reputation dives. It's a recipe for disaster, and I see it way too much. So now that you know some of the hidden costs of underpricing projects, I want to give you 3 action items here that will help you really define your margins and enable you to charge more and still land a good number of projects for you. So number 0.5 here is become a pro brand, right? Really invest in good branding. It really doesn't take a lot of money. It just takes a bit of time. You will probably need to hire someone, to build a nice website and get the graphics, but you don't have to spend necessarily, tens of thousands of dollars. You can hire someone typically a couple $1,000, get some nice branding in place. Doesn't have to be perfect right now, depending on how big you are as a company. But if your branding is cheap or doesn't look up to par of other builders in your area, economy driven types of people are going to see your branding, and your branding looks cheap. So they're going to think this is a cheap builder. And that's why you keep getting cheap clients, right? When your branding looks really nice, it looks professional and in a good place, and like the type of company that good quality clients want to work with. Now you've got that fit, and you have clients that are coming through and they expect a certain quality and level of service as well as a certain price based off your branding. It's just a perception thing. And of course, there's people with amazing branding and the company sucks and they provide, crap service. That happens. But if you don't have that good branding, your expectation is that you're going to be the cheap builder, and you're going to have that disconnect with being able to sell projects at a higher enough margin. So really invest some time in branding, get some, branded shirts, decals, website, all this type of stuff. I've got other videos on branding if you need, specific points on that. Number 6 is pro, pre-con. So if you are a quality builder, you are going to need to have a really great pre-construction process. And that doesn't mean you need in-house design necessarily, or you need to hire an architect, or all these things that may go along with the pre-construction, but you need to be able to solve that problem and be the solution for clients who come to you, so that you have a really high level of service in the pre-construction stage. Because any quality client is going to want to work with someone who can provide a high level of service. And that's how you can differentiate yourself in the pre-construction, so that when you move into the construction contract, it's not just on price and you're not competing against, 3 or 5 other builders, because you've already built this relationship with the client, with their designer or your designer. Ideally, you are referring interior designers, architects, whoever they may need. During the design process, you're getting the permits, you're doing the budgeting, pricing for them, and just helping them with the scheduling and everything, so that when it comes time to them actually going into the construction phase, they already know the price, they've worked with you, they've had a great experience. There's no reason for them not to continue into the construction. The odd one may still want to go get other people's bids, but it's rare, and you're going to need that if you want to get good margins on the other end. And the last one I'm going to mention here, number 7, is the pro experience. So you need a professional, high level of quality, high, margin type builder experience for the client through and through. So that doesn't mean just being available by phone or going that extra mile. It really means having a system in place that's going to always make sure the client is taken care of, their issues are tracked, that your business is operating in a systemized, predictable way. They're getting invoiced on time. The invoices are clear. Every process is clear. You're always providing them with updates on the project, what's going on. You're setting expectations early. You're, setting up lots of protection inside the home, whether that's security, around the house or protection on the floors and the countertops. So everything has to be clean, organized, functioning at a very high level. And when you can provide that type of service, you are going to have really good clients coming, through your business on a constant wheel, because good quality clients are going to refer to good quality people. And I've found in my experience that the professional types of people want to work with professional businesses. They're willing to spend a bit more. People are going to associate with other people that are similar to them. So if you are working with higher end clients, they're going to know other higher end people. Social economics of people surround themselves with similar people to themselves. So that is where you get in the virtuous cycle of good clients turn into better clients, and you can kind of raise the bar with your margins and your clientele and your business. It's a beautiful thing all at the same time. So if you want to learn how to provide an amazing client experience, go check out this next video all about how to set up a great client experience system in your business. I'll see you there.